Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
I'm doing really well today, Michelle. How are you doing? How's it going?
I'm good. Yeah, everything's good over here. Lindsay, what is the last thing you quit? It doesn't have to be like a job or something. Maybe you just stopped doing something.
Yeah, I mean, so I used to so I go to a Sunday night meditation group every Sunday. It's my community, and we meditate together, but I used to be part of a setup breakdown committee where I would go and help set up, you set up everything, the chairs, and I quit that just because things have gotten really busy in my personal life. We're doing a home renovation and I'm really busy on the weekends now. So I quit that. Yeah. But that's okay. Sometimes like our participation in things can wax and wane, and that's okay. Right?
Yeah.
What
definitely.
about you? What's the last thing you quit?
What is the last thing I quit? Oh man, I can't think of a specific example.
You're not a quitter.
No, I mean, I definitely have quit things, but I'm gonna think it as we move through the episode.
Okay, it'll come to you.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you think do you think our listeners ever get confused between quit, quiet, and quite?
Yeah, quite. Woo. Yes, it is very confusing. And we're actually going to talk about that today because our listener on YouTube asked us a question about just this very topic. So, Lindsay, could you read their question for us?
Yeah, and don't forget, guys, we are over on YouTube. So search for All Ears English Podcast on YouTube. Hit subscribe. All right, this is from our amazing YouTube listener, Make It Yourself See. All right. So here's what the student asked. Hello, All Ears English. I'm Mara, and you are my favorite podcasts. Wow, that's a big compliment, Michelle. Amazing.
Yeah.
I wondered if you could answer my question about the difference between quiet, quite, and quit, because I always get confused between them, and I would appreciate this if the podcast is in English. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, we are going to answer that question for Mara and all of our listeners today. It is kind of confusing. You look at the word and you think, which one are we talking about here? Right?
Yeah. So thank you so much for that question and for listening. And yeah, this is great. I mean, you're definitely not the only one who's confused between these words, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like Lindsay said, they all start and end with the same sound, right? Qua, and then with a t.
Right.
And sometimes even native speakers can mix up these words when spelling them. So we are going to show you the differences in spelling, pronunciation, and meaning, because even though they sound similar, they have very different meanings. Right, Lindsay?
100%. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. And it's very important to know the difference. They're very different words.
Very.
Right? So we need to solve this problem today together. Guys, hit the follow button right here on All Ears English. If you do that, what will happen is we will show up in your listening queue 5 days a week, and then it becomes part of your habit. We teach English in a different way, in a way that focuses on human connection. So if you believe in that, if you think that's a good approach, then hit follow because you're a member of our community. All right?
Definitely.
Good.
All right. So let's start with quiet. So Lindsay, how do we spell quiet?
Right. Yeah, let's get into the spelling. If our listeners don't have the transcripts, they're going to need this. So Quiet, quiet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. So notice the IE in the middle. And yeah, pronounced 2 syllables with the stress on the first one. Quiet.
Yeah. Quiet. Right? 2 syllables. So what does it mean, Michelle?
This deals with noise. It means there's not much noise. So for example, please be quiet. The baby is sleeping.
Right. Or I love Sunday mornings because the neighborhood is so quiet. Ooh, I feel that way about Sunday mornings too. It's so nice. It's so nice. Not a lot of cars on the street. Right. Beautiful sunrise, maybe. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. So now let's do quite, which is quite different. Lindsay, how do we spell this one?
Okay. This is spelled Quite. So it's kind of the opposite, right, of quiet. We're just swapping in the letters.
Yeah, we're just mixing up some of the letters. So here the E is at the end.
Yes.
So, and what about, how do we pronounce this one?
This is pronounced quite. So this one has 1 syllable and it rhymes with single syllable words like night or right. Okay.
But what does it mean?
It's an adverb. It means basically, rather, fairly, completely, or other ways to say it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for example, the movie was quite good. I enjoyed it. Do you say that?
I don't think this is really part of my vocabulary that much. I feel like I hear this in British English.
That's
more.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah. This is another, we've had a few of these pop up in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I guess some Americans might say it, but it feels like a Britishism or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree. Or she's quite chatty, isn't she?
That one would be more likely to say
Same.
that, but
Same. I'm not sure why.
yeah, quite good. Yeah, for some reason that feels like a British thing to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Yeah, but we do use quite sometimes in different ways in American English. So it's important to know for sure. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And the last one is quit. Now, how do we spell this one?
Yeah. Quit. So this one is 4 letters. It's the shortest of all 3 of them. And it's pronounced. How's it pronounced, Michelle?
Quit, 1 syllable, and it rhymes with words like sit or hit. It's interesting. You know how you can remember this? I just realized.
How?
So when you quit the letter E.
Ah, good
right?
one.
Because there's no E in there, so you can
Yes.
remember that. I quit the letter E.
Love it. Mnemonic
so-
devices. You're the queen of mnemonic devices.
The queen. But this means to stop doing something entirely, right? So like
Yes.
Lindsay, how you quit the setting up of the space. Right.
Exactly. So that's a good one. So think of it that way. If you get confused when we quit the letter E, we are quitting, meaning we're ending our participation in something, right? We're stopping doing something. So I quit my job yesterday, right? Or
Yep. She quit running when she injured her knee.
yes. Good. Okay. Great examples.
Hey, quick question. Do you want to feel more confident when you speak English? If so, we made a free guide for you. It'll help you avoid those common mistakes and start speaking more naturally in real conversations. Go grab it in the description below. And if this is helpful for you, make sure that you like and subscribe. We're here 5 times a week to help you connect in English.
All right, Michelle, let's put these words into action. Our listeners love action. They love active use of words, right? How do we learn how to produce these words in the moment when we're under pressure? Right?
Yeah. So we're gonna use them naturally, and we'll see if our listeners can guess which word it is.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Oh, I just need some peace and quiet.
All right. So think about what you heard. So I heard 2 syllables, right? Quiet.
Yes.
Plus, now we have to look at the context, right? The context really gives it away. So quiet, no noise.
Yeah, and not just the context, but also peace and quiet is a chunk, right?
That's true. Peace and quiet. I just need some peace and quiet. Like,
yeah, there's no chunk of like peace and quit or peace and quite.
right. So that's, I mean, we could do a whole episode. We could do a whole follow up on chunks.
Yes,
with these
related to
because
these
they're
words.
very, maybe we'll do that soon. So hit follow.
Yeah.
Really good. All right. Let's do the next one.
I couldn't stand my last job. I quit after 2 weeks.
Okay. So we can hear how many syllables do
I
we
felt like
have?
it was 1 syllable.
It was 1 syllable. So that's the only one out of these that has 1 syllable. It quit. When you do quit, you quit the E, and you also quit a syllable. You quit one of the syllables.
And that's where we're ending our participation in something, right? And looking at the context, you quit a job. You don't quite a job.
You don't quiet a
job.
It just, yeah.
Right.
So yeah. And then one more, Lindsay.
I was quite pleased with how dinner turned out. I sound so British.
Did I say that quite has more than 1 syllable?
No,
I'm sorry. Did I say, well, because I said quit has 1 syllable. So,
quit
but
and
quite also has 1 syllable. I apologize if I mixed anyone up. So yeah, again, 1 syllable.
Yes.
But Yeah, this word is describing pleased, right? So this is an adverb. It's emphasizing this word. You're just a little extra pleased, quite pleased.
Exactly. So that one is quite. All right, let's bring them into a role play now, Michelle. And our listeners should listen and try to identify, like we just did in this activity, guys, which ones we're using as you hear them. Okay?
Here we go. All right. Guess what? I quit caffeine last week.
No way. You've been talking about doing that. So you're not drinking coffee at all?
Just decaf.
Nice work. I don't think I could ever give up caffeine, especially coffee.
Yeah, it was tough getting to work at first. I was super quiet and groggy in the morning.
I bet. But you've adjusted now, it seems like?
Yeah, I actually feel quite good this week. I think my body adapted quickly.
Yeah, it's funny how like sometimes we think we are really hooked on something, but we actually, if we stop doing it, sometimes we don't feel that much of a withdrawal. Maybe a few days, right? Yeah, that's really interesting.
And fine, I'll use now quit. So yeah, I have tried to quit my second cup of coffee a day, but it's not going well, and I think I'm going back to it.
Are you having withdrawals? Like,
no. I mean, I think that's maybe why I've been so tired. It's harder to quit than I thought. But what I think I might do is my friend made me a matcha latte the other day. Oh, do you like matcha?
I love matcha. I'm a big matcha person. I love it.
Oh my God. Yeah. She made it so good. And so I bought matcha, and after we record today, I'm going to try to make it.
Yeah, matcha. Matcha's having a big boom in the US right now. From what I heard, it's good, and it's really good for you as well.
Do you make yourself like a latte, or what do you do?
These days I'm not having it, but I used to make, like, what did I do? Just a tea, and then maybe put a little bit of milk on top. But I like the foaminess of it. I like the creaminess, that consistency. You're talking about the powder, right? Or are you talking about the tea bags?
The powder.
Okay, the powder. Yeah.
You too?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love the powder. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it has a ton of caffeine though, I think.
Not that. No. Less than coffee. Okay. And they say that it like makes you less jittery than coffee.
Yeah, probably true.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And you get all those benefits coffee has a lot of benefits too, but matcha has a lot of health benefits from what I've seen.
Yeah, there you go. So here I go. I'll let you know how it is. Yeah. All right. So I said, guess what? I quit caffeine last week. So I ended my participation.
Yeah, you ended your participation in caffeine.
Yes.
Okay. And then you said it was tough getting to work at first. I was super quiet and groggy in the morning. So here we're using the QUIET, quiet, 2 syllables, right? Not loud. Right?
Yeah. And then I said, I actually feel quite good this week. I think my body adapted quickly. So quite, right? Very, pretty good.
Yeah.
1 syllable, quite, QUITE. And again, I might be more likely to say something like, I'm actually feeling much better this week, or I'm feeling pretty good this week. Quite might be more British sounding, but very good to know.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I feel like this morning I could have used a coffee for sure, but I didn't make one, but I need one today.
It's okay. You could do it.
Yeah. We really, it's also the ritual, it's the ritual. It's so nice. It's, start your morning with the smell of coffee brewing in the kitchen. Yeah. I think our listeners can definitely relate to this. So guys, go check out 2564, human or person. What's the difference? Right?
All right, guys. So takeaway for today is, we answered the question. Really we have to think about how things are spelled, how many syllables they are, and also chunks, which we might follow up with in the future because there are a lot of good chunks with these. But start with one at a time. Try and think of as many examples as you can with one, and then move on to the next.
Yeah. And always come back to context as your North Star here, right? We don't use certain words in certain contexts. It just doesn't make any sense. So I hope we come back to an episode maybe on chunks, because that is context essentially. That would help a lot. So guys, make sure you are following the shows. You get a bit more of this topic in the coming days and weeks. All right,
Lindsay. Well, All right. I guess we'll quit for today.
Quit for today. All right. It's quitting time, Michelle. It's quitting
It's quitting time. Yes. All right. Bye,
All right.
guys.
Talk soon. Bye.